अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। न गुरोरधिकं तत्त्वं न गुरोरधिकं तपः तत्त्वज्ञानात् परं नास्ति तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। अनेकजन्म सम्प्राप्त कर्मेन्दनविदायिने तत्त्वज्ञानाग्निदानेन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। हरि 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 ओम तत्सत्। जय गुरु जय गुरु जय गुरु। We shall recite jointly 3 times Omkara. The Omkara should completely involve you, penetrate into your system and completely involve you. Just like fire is blazing in cinder, like that it should fill your body, mind, intelligence and ego. हरि ओम तत्सत्। जय गुरु जय गुरु। It was about 75 years back that I accompanied my brothers from Kerala, from our farmhouse to Calcutta. It was in pursuit of a professional life. The very strange factor is that very soon after I came to Calcutta, I don't know exactly when it took place, after how many months, my elder brother told me that he was bringing a Sadhu Baba to our flat, who will be staying with us for nearly a month. Maybe I heard the word Sadhu Baba for the first time. I did not know what it meant. But I had seen in my brother some interest in spirituality, particularly associated with Sadhu Babas. One day, one Sadhu Baba with a stick like this in his hand was climbing our steps. We were on the first floor. So he started climbing. So when he came, I was in a room from where I could see him through the window. Then he mentioned about my brother and said, "Is he there?" He was a Hindi speaking person. I had not known Hindi then. In Calcutta, all the South Indians learn Hindi. But in my case, I started learning Bengali, not Hindi. So that time, neither Hindi nor Bengali I could speak or understand. So when I told him my brother was not there, he immediately went back. So after that, Baba was brought. So when he was bringing Baba, I asked him, see, the other day Sadhu Baba came here with whom I could not speak. What about this Sadhu Baba? Will he speak English? He said he would speak very good English. Thank God, I said. I can communicate with you. So Baba was brought. So we arranged because my brother and myself alone were there. Actually, we were staying with our brother, sister-in-law, and the children, etc. That was a time when they had gone home. So we alone were left to look after Baba, cooking food for him, etc. So we were discussing many things. So Baba came, and then he was climbing up. We were on the first floor, climbing up the stairs, and finally we conducted him to the room. He unloaded his materials and sat there. Later on, I felt there was no cot in our flat. So did we do anything wrong by bringing him to a place where he could not be provided a cot? But when I happened to come here later, I found that he was never using a cot. He was only on the floor. I think he was staying here, lying here. And I used to come, get into the room and sit by his side. So, before I was introduced to virtually anything in Calcutta, I happened to see Baba. This seeing Baba was meaning a great deal about which I had no knowledge at all. You know, my brother was going to Sadhu Babas, and that is how he picked up this Sadhu Baba. There was a Bengali friend of my brother called Manoranjan Ghosh. It was he, I understand, who introduced him to Baba. So my brother must have been searching a proper person. I don't know. But somehow this Sadhu Baba happened to be brought. So that contact was very early in my life as I reached Calcutta, before I was employed and before I could be exposed to anything else. This seeing Baba and living in a manner closely with him, preparing the food, feeding him, washing the vessels, everything, washing the clothes, everything, etc. I was doing. So it was something very, very strange. So I cannot imagine what all thoughts must have transpired in my mind. But one point is that, what is the place of a Siddha Purusha in one's life? We generally go to the temple, worship there, and get some prasada and put it on the forehead and come away. Very rarely we have some eatable prasada. Otherwise it is all prasada which is in the form of chandan or kumkuma. Say, what is the place for a Sadhu Baba, a Siddha Purusha in one's life? I could not understand. But my brother having brought a Sadhu Baba into our flat, it must have initiated in my mind a very significant line of thinking. You know, the people of Kerala, they only have a temple culture. To a very large extent in Tamil Nadu also it is so. About Andhra Pradesh I cannot say, and Karnataka. We cannot think of anything beyond the temple. In the temple we had an oracle in Devi temples. He used to be representing the deity. with a sword, etc., he will have an inspiration and he will start giving some blessings, sometimes commands, criticisms, etc. That's all we know. Where is the place for a Siddha Purusha in one's life? So I started slowly getting exposed to this. Oh, I see. There is a place for a Siddha Purusha in one's life. Especially when one becomes a seeker. What will you seek? Normally you will seek either a God or I don't know what. Very few people worship God and beyond worship they don't go. If at all you have to seek as a worshipper, you have to seek realization of God. I want to realize God. That is one seeking. Another is we want to have moksha. What is moksha? Liberation. Those days I understood moksha as a state where you are free from continuous births and deaths. That's all. And that moksha would not come to you while you are living. You only have a vague idea. We want to have moksha. My mother, when I asked her, I am every day worshipping in the Devi temple. But most of my thoughts were around Krishna and Vishnu. So there was a little contradiction. My mother, I am going to a Devi temple and worshipping her. But most of us are, I was particularly Krishna and Vishnu Maya. So I did not have a prayer to offer to her. So I asked my mother. You know what my mother said? You tell Devi, take away the Sukrita and Dushkrita that you have and give me liberation. Whatever virtue and sin is there, are there in my life, take both the virtue and sin and give me liberation. Taking the sin was meaningful, but when virtue also to be taken, I did not tell my mother, I did not ask her anything, I simply started doing it. Take away my virtue and sin and give me liberation. Take away my virtue and sin and give liberation. See, even virtue is to be surrendered. Sin is to be avoided. What about virtue? We generally gain virtue and avoid sin. And our idea is to gain more and more virtue. Here is my mother telling me, take both virtue and sin alike and give me liberation. I did not ask her anything, reply her. I started doing it. Now, I don't know what is the connection between X and Y. So when I met by Baba, I think it was an initiation and inauguration of my request. It was an initiation of a life where my mother told me what I should do. Take away my virtue and sin and give me my liberation. So seeing Baba and getting introduced to him was the beginning of what my mother told me. So that was, liberation is there. Both virtue and sin are to be offered. We don't want either virtue or sin. We want a state of liberation. So what is this liberation where virtue and sin both are insignificant, it is all parted? These premature thoughts started taking shape in me. And then I saw in my Baba, what did I see? Nothing. Nothing. He was in a room, staying alone, and whenever I used to open the door, I found him standing on it. He never had a puja, nor had he a picture. He used to have his sacred thread, but it was hanging from the neck. Because he had no teeth, he didn't have to wash the teeth. So he will simply continue till the time for meals comes. Then he would go to the bathroom and have bath. After the bath, he would have his food, go and again be in the room. So I saw a person completely tied up to a room. and doing practically nothing. What do you understand from this? And he was considered to be a Siddha Purusha. So what is a Siddha Purusha and what he will do? This is what I saw in my friend. So it must have either guided me or made me a very deep inquirer or a seeker. So because he stayed for 1 month, naturally I had some contacts with him, and mostly the interaction was between my brother and him. Then after a few days, my brother wanted to have initiation, Diksha from him. Oh, a Siddha Purusha has come to our flat and my brother is going to have Diksha, initiation from him. So naturally I could connect things. What is it my brother was doing? He wanted to have Diksha, initiation. Initiation into what? I don't know. And what was my Baba doing? Nothing. So doing nothing and Diksha from him, what would it mean? So as a silent spectator, my mind must have thought. I cannot exactly say what all my mind thought, but I was thinking, oh, I see. So he is a Siddha Purusha. When I prostrated before him, before that my brother told me, he is a great Brahmajnani. Prostrate before him and seek Brahmajnana. Bah. Another point. Brahmajnana. And he wants me to seek Brahmajnana from him and introduced him as a Brahmajnani. See how the mind was growing. And see the prayer my mother wanted me to make. Take my Sukrita and Dushkrita and give me liberation. And what is liberation? So there was nothing like a religiosity in Baba. No worship, no flower, nothing. I have never heard him chant anything as a part of his Shirshasana or anything like that. So this was my contact. Can you imagine? It was a great initiation for me. Whatever religious thoughts, devotional thoughts I had, having been born and brought up in village with all the tradition, Brahminical tradition I had, see, this used to be multiplying a huge multiplication table with a zero. Can you imagine? Huh? A huge multiplication table. And we start multiplying. Ultimately the figure with which you have to multiply is a zero. This is what I felt. So where is religiosity and what is the place for rituals? What is the place for Sandhya Vandana, etc.? But I was performing my Sandhya Vandana very rigorously. I always used to say, when I had my sacred thread on my body, sun has not set without my having done Sandhya Vandana in the morning and evening. Has not risen nor set. Why? My mother told me that you have got the sacred thread. You should continue to do Sandhya Vandana. Even if you are sick, ask for a little water, take it and sprinkle it on your body and do your Sandhya Vandana. So I was very steadfastly, fastidiously doing it. My Baba saw me do it and he was very impressed. So my brother took Diksha from me. What was the Diksha? I never heard a sound. They closed the door and they sat for about half an hour or 45 minutes and 2-3 days. I never asked my brother, what did you have? Nor did I ask Baba. So after all, it was a 1 month period. After some time, one day, I went and asked Baba. My mind was very restless. You must have known, I have said it several times. My problem was that I could not be interested in anything. Nothing I could find interesting. So this disinterestedness was very chronic in my mind. So naturally the restlessness was there. One question that always I was concerned with was, what shall I do when I have nothing to do? Did you understand? What shall I do when I have nothing to do? Suppose you have no work and no involvement. What shall we do then? It was a question. So when I prostrated before him,
On the first day.
first time, we prostrate, falling at the feet, extending the hand and touching his feet. So he was sitting. Soon after he came and sat. My brother asked me to prostrate, I prostrated. So he held my cheeks and lifted the head up and kissed me on my forehead. This act of his meant a great deal of introspection in my life. I said, what is this? An old person with skin and bone has come to our flat for the first time. I am meeting him. I have not met him even. I have not looked at him fully well. And suddenly he shows so much of concern and affection as well as freedom. So in the human life and interaction, is there any chapter like this? I was the last born amongst, we are seven children. I was the last. So all were elder to me. None of them has done anything like this as far as I remember. Neither my brothers, nor sisters, nor mother or father. But here is an old man taking so much of freedom and affection. So that meant a great deal in my mind. So one day I asked him how to concentrate. Then he told me, oh, concentration. It is the last thing to be attained in human life. So I thought, if it is the last thing, then I am far away from it. In terms of age and also my little knowledge and curiosity, I never pursued the question further. Then after my brother's initiation, they will go inside the room, close the door and simply be closed up. After some time, 1 hour or 2 hours, they will come back. So I found a notebook kept there. My brother was keeping a diary. He was perhaps asked to keep a diary. So in the diary, in the first page he has put, School of Nothingness, primary class. School of Nothingness, primary class. What is this? He had his Diksha and now he says, this is the School of Nothingness and the primary class. What does it mean? So the Diksha is an entry into the School of Nothingness, and he was an educated person, and then what happened? So all these thoughts came. Baba returned at the end of the 1 month. I took him to the main road, travelled with him, went to Bedanagar, dropped him and came back. So I continued my contact with Baba by writing letters. And the contact as well as the stay of 1 month in our flat, both of them had created a bond in my heart with Baba. That bond I continued by writing to him. Every letter he replied. I was saying whatever I wanted, he would reply. So the contact was, association was very open, unrestricted. This is something that I want you to understand. Going to a guru means it is to have the most inmost free and open relationship. Your relationship with the parents, with the married partner, with the children, with brothers and sisters and friends, none of these can be anything like the contact and association with the Guru. That's it. There is nothing. Unless you are able to have an open mind in approaching the Guru and in having his interaction with him, that association will not have any meaning. Our Shastras say, Bruyuhu snigdhasya shishyasya. When the Shishya is very intimate, then the Guru discloses even the greatest of secrets. How will he tell you? You come and formally worship him, prostrate before him, give some articles and you go away. See, that association should be there. Like with the father, with the married partner, with the brothers, sisters, friends, something excelling that. Mentally you must have. So I used to write, I used to get reply, etc. Then I had my Diksha. I had my Diksha in Bedanagar. I told Baba that I will go. I will come tomorrow morning. And he never said no. He wanted me to stay there for 3 days. So when I told him that I am not staying, I will go. I have not asked him how did you agree. So I cannot give you any comment or about how he agreed. Because he had told me to stay. I said. So when I went there, I had just gone there with raw hands. I did not know anything. Naturally, who is there to guide me? So then what happened? He said, you have come alone with nothing? No. What is there? You go purchase some sweet and some flowers and a garland. So whatever you say, I shall do. So I went to the market. First day, I went to the market, brought the materials he wanted, brought them, and then placed them in his front. Arey, why are you keeping it in my front? Baba, what am I to? He said, put the garland on my neck. So I put the garland. Before that you said, put the flowers at my feet. Can you imagine? Either I was a fool or I was dangerously innocent. In a way I was young also. So this is the type of relationship I had. 3 days, first day, second day, third day. On the third day when I was returning, I told Baba, Baba, please do not ask me to read any book. I have come here to have Diksha. And by Diksha, I don't know what exactly I said. Whatever you have given me in the form of Diksha, I shall practice it. And I want by this practice the direct realization of my goal. That cannot be substituted by, I did not speak so much, substituted by reading books. And I am not given to reading books. So, he said, no, don't read. But when the time comes for you to read the book will have reached your table. This he said. So I said, very good, and came away. That is how, after about 1.5 or 2 years, I found the Mundakopanishad on my table and started reading. And that was a great beginning in my life. So when, after getting Diksha, the first day itself, I went to my flat in South Calcutta, and there was a small veranda in the room. So I went there, spread a mat, and I am giving to meditating lying, not always sitting. I preferred lying meditation. People generally say they sleep, but I was not sleeping. I could, because the whole body is restful. I used to put one leg over the other and like this. So I completely got absorbed into my within, got up only after 4 hours. First day. Like that, as I always said, before going to the office, 1 hour 15 minutes. After returning from the office, 1 hour 15 minutes. On the holidays, I would meditate for 4 hours. I knew that this is a life of sadhana. Here there is no ritual of any kind. It is a meditative absorptional meditation. Everything is in the form of an experience. So you can imagine my contact with Baba grew. And I don't know when I decided I came to Dakshinanda. I must have come either taking 1 day leave or Friday evening, Saturday, Sunday, 2 days. When I came here and saw him in his own natural place of stay, it was another huge exposure. Very significant exposure. There was a rickety staircase, come there, and then I would enter. He would be either seated or lying. So I would prostrate before him and be by his side. I used to sleep there at night. There. He was here, I used to sleep. Whenever I woke up, I have seen him standing on his head. I don't generally wake up. Whenever I woke up, I used to see he was standing on there. Playing harmonium at other times, singing the single line. He would go down only to take bath and have food. No other activity at all. The Shirshasana, it requires a lot of concentration and application. If you have to stand on one point, supported by the arms. Generally we are resting on 2 legs. So the 2-point contact is removed and you are supposed to stand on the head. When I used to stand on Shirshasana, my head will go like this and I will be standing at this point. It will simply rub like this and go. I used to be like that. Various experiences I had. All were blissful experiences. I did not have to wait for anything. So I was wondering whether I would be late for going to the office. So I asked him, I remain absorbed in meditation. Before going to the office, I meditate for about 1.25 hours. So will anything happen? I will miss the office. He said, no. Whenever you have any doubt, you think of me and prostrate. And you will be automatically waking up in time. Now, I would like to tell you something on this point. What is the difference between having a guru, taking diksha and doing sadhana? All these go together. And the difference between this and the other, having a close association with you. I would like you to think about it. What is meant by a close association? And what will transpire in the close association? I will tell you what I felt. When I came here, saw Baba in so natural way of life and environment. The moment I came here, I was cut away from everything. You know, this place is far away. You are going to Jamatpur, Baran. You can see. We had to walk all the way through the dusty mud road. 2 miles. Is it not 2 miles? 2 miles. Nothing will be there. The moment, you see, there was a lot of anxiety and expectation. I come, wash my feet and face, and come up and see, sit here. What will I do? I will look at my Baba. Whatever he was doing, I was seeing. So that observation which you are able to get, what is the transformation that you want? Your transformation in your life, how will it come? You see a person who is enlightened and you see him how he is living. Will you be able to know how he lives unless you have close association? So I was seated by his side. I will sometimes press and massage his feet or leg or any other place he wanted me to do. If some conversation comes up, he was not a talker as such. But when any question is asked, any inquiry is made, he will answer. But I was not given to inquiry because I was interested in doing sadhana and realizing the truth. And my inquiry, if at all, was, how will a man of realization be? This I was seeing right in my friend. This is how a man of realization be. And what is he? Observe him in all ways. How he eats, how he dresses. And I was so close. Every time, any time I was with him. And with the other members of the family, including mother, because I could not speak Bengali, the contact and conversation was not there. So my whole association was with Baba. Those times, electricity was here, but other conveniences were not. But he had made some improvisation, etc. with engineering knowledge, very good. So I used to see. There was a kerosene bedroom lamp. He would keep it here. And then sunrise will come. And this light also, bedroom lamp light also. So when he used to stand on the head, it would affect his eyes. You know what he had done? With metal, steel plate, he made a hook like this. And in this, see? So he would hang it in the glass. So his eyes will be protected. You know, this one sight that he has made, it gave me a huge measure of knowledge. All the letters that we used to write, you know, he had kept all of them by putting them into. There was a paper holder with a wooden base and a steel rod with sharp. We used to thrust them. Do you remember? Tumar mane ache?
Pin like.
So the moment I left Calcutta, I had only the thought of Baba and Poornashram. And I would come here. So that flame was disturbing his eyes when he was standing on the head. So what he did was, the bedroom lamp was burning throughout the night. So he made a disc. See? A disc like this. A disc like this. And from there to hang it on the glass.
Just a flat piece of circle, just like disc, a disc with a hole, and where hanging like
Hook.
hook. He could rotate, the position of the disc could be put anywhere, and that hook was hanging from the lamp, that shade.
To cover the flame.
So that the flame goes everywhere, the light goes everywhere, but not on directly on it.
Flame is covered.
So this one gadget he had made, it made me so much enlightened in my life. It gave me a great measure of enlightenment. And he had an engineering puzzle. That is another affair. Now the question that I want you to think about is, I came away from Calcutta. Even before starting, I had only thoughts of Poornashram and Baba. Poornashram and Baba. These thoughts were making me come there. So the connection with Calcutta is broken when I came here. And it was re-begun only after I reached there. So what about the 2 or 3 days I stayed here? Why don't you think? And here, the only person I was looking at and had interaction with was Baba. And then, whom will I talk to? Only Baba. Whom will I hear? Only him. Whom will I observe? I will observe only him. So, can you imagine this exclusiveness on the one hand and the total intimacy that I had with him? And for 2 or 3 days. So this kind of a close association with Guru and staying with him, it should be a close association. See, I would like you to think in sufficient measure about this point. You may do 20 years of hard austerity going to a forest. Though 20 days you live in the close association of the Guru, the 20 days of close association will be far more in effect than 20 years of hardcore austerity. Can you understand this? And then you will have to think how it works, why it is so. This close association itself makes a lot of difference. Why should I come here and be here for 2-3 days, leaving a very alluring and attractive Calcutta? Why? What is the reason? So whatever seeking and curiosity you have, sadhana you do, the whole thing is intensified, purified, sublimated, enlightened. And what do you want to become? You want to become a knower of truth. See, we are all worshipping God, but we cannot be like God. Then we can be a knower of God. So when you want to become a knower of God, should you see a knower of God or should you try to see the invisible God? So he holds the answer for everything, clarity for everything, enlightenment for everything. And in the close association, he would be speaking. I can also ask, and whatever questions come I ask, he answers. He also speaks something. And this my coming here continued for how many times? Because in my life the progress was very fast. I was in Calcutta for 4 or 5 years, how much I cannot say now. So it advanced sufficiently well, and I decided to take up sannyasa from him and go. So how this came up? After coming to Baba, I never had any thought of God at all. God is invisible. Even if you hear a voice of God, it can only be a concoction. Because God is invisible. He is all-pervading. He doesn't have a mouth. He doesn't have anything, body. How will he speak? Can you think like this? No. How can God speak? So So when you say, I heard God, what does it mean? It is only a concoction. You heard an impersonal voice. Can an impersonal voice be real? So there was no looking at God. For me, everything was Baba. Then I used to ask him, what is it that you are giving us? One day I asked him a question. I have read in books, Ramakrishna Dev had 12 disciples. And he was very, very, very happy and fulfilled. Baba, we are not 12 disciples for you, but we are very few. But do you have the same fulfillment and contentment as Ramakrishna Dev is reported to have had? Reported to have had. He said, yes. I am very, very happy. I don't feel like having more disciples. I am quite happy and content. At another time I asked him, with our association with you, close association with you, what is it that we are going to have? What kind of an enrichment? These are my present words. At that time, what words I used, I cannot say. Then he said, with your close association with me, you have already got, and you will also have it further, something very, very special. Something very invaluable. You have something very, very special by your intimate association with me. Very, very special, which others will never have. I heard it and kept quiet. Another time I asked him, Baba, we are your disciples. As disciples, are we fulfilling our role? Is there anything not done by us? Or is there anything to be done by us? He said, no, you are already doing what is to be done. I have no other expectation. We took him to Jamshedpur 1 year. That was, his age was advancing. And the fall of the body, Mahasamadhi could be any time. So one day sitting there I asked him, Baba, you tell me, when your body falls, do you have anything to tell us in the terms of expectation? Because I will get the news after the body falls. And by no means is it possible for me to reach here Dakshin Kannada with travel facilities and other things, being totally different. So then he quoted a verse from Viveka Chudamani. Kulyayavadhanadhyam va shivakshetrebhi satvare parnam padati chayattena taro kim shubha. He said, there is a huge tree and leaves are falling. Whether the leaves fall in a drain or in a river, holy river, or maybe in a Shiva temple or in a 4-road cross point, what does it matter to this? To the tree. Does it matter anything? I said, Baba, don't speak all these big, big words. I want you to tell me that do you have any kind of an expectation or a wish to express when the body falls? It is a very important event in the life. Then he said, allow the body to be handled in any manner. There are people around are supposed to do. Maximum, whatever you want to take, you may take. He said. So this much of freedom I had, I said, all this big talk, I don't know. Don't evade the question. Answer, give me a specific answer, I said. So this is the type of freedom I had with my Baba. So that exclusiveness, why should I come from Calcutta and stay here for 2 or 3 days? And what was I doing? I was doing nothing. As he was doing nothing, I was also not doing anything. I used to pump. There was a hand pump here and a borewell. So I used to pump and fill the tank there. That's all. He said, Guru Seva karo, Guru Seva karo. So can you imagine that this hall was empty, Baba alone was here. I used to lie there. What more do you want?
Was here. At the same time, the necessity of using the place was there, so we had to compromise on that front. Then, suppose we remade the mud cottage again, that preservation would not be possible. So we had to make a proper building which we don't have to struggle to maintain in rain and all. So certain compromises were there, looking at that, but we tried to keep the essential elements of the place to the extent possible. For example, the building was still closer to the road. It was a continuous house with a little portion of that house is still there available on this side. When you go out, you can see. But that portion is not kept properly. It's in very dirty shape, and the thatched portion they have replaced with tin sheet or steel sheet. And the railings, everything has broken. It has come down too much. It was a little up. Here, the same house was continuing. There was the sunshed also, the corridor. Here is a corridor. That corridor was above hay thatching. There was a thatching there in the sunshed, and the whole roof was a hay thatched building. We wanted to have the same thatching looking like the same, but the hay has the problem of inflammability. So we looked quite a lot for the non-inflammable hay if it is available. Our architect says, yes, it is available, I will get it from here. But when the time came, the architect was nowhere available. We have replaced that thatching by the tiled roof finally. And the house has been taken inside to the extent possible to save it from the road. And the rules of making the buildings have changed. A new building cannot be made as the front building is made. It is on the road. It is not fully legal that way. We had to take it in, and we wanted to keep some space in front. We had left more space in front, but finally we found that we are not able to have the space at the back. The whatever minimum accommodation we need was not there. So that was made. Now here there was a concrete building which was made after the great West Bengal flood by Swamiji has got it made, where these artifacts were kept. Baba's Almirah, Baba's Khadao, and 1978. It was made in 1978, but later on when the mud cottage was completely falling, they had shifted all the materials to that cottage on the first floor. Many of you would have seen the first time we came, going up the stairs on the first floor, whatever materials were there. And some were kept in Jangaldas house also. So, actually that concrete building was where the gate is now. So we could not make the gate as long as that building was there. We had to break the building and make the gate. And here there was another room actually. This room has been extended towards the gate. It was not so long as it is now. It was smaller. It was 2 feet smaller on the width also. So it was looking almost same. It is 2 feet wider and about 6 or 8 feet longer. That was a mud cottage with small, small windows, as usual. So, that room, we have stayed in that room also, but generally Baba would stay here. There was a door in the middle, somewhat like this. As you enter the door, right there was a notice saying that come to a man of business, speak of business, finish your business, leave the man of business to his own business. That was written here. So, Baba had given a copy of that. I said that, can I put it? No, don't put it now. You will have to meet so many people, you have to do so many things. Don't put it now. Later on you can keep it. You can make it later. So that was there. And just as you turn left from that door, and there was a door here also to go to the corridor, just opposite to it. But the position was a little on that side. As you turn left on the road, from the door, here was Baba's, the head was on this side, but Baba was lying on his huge Royal Bengal tiger skin given by Swamiji, brought from one Maharani of Assam when Swamiji had gone to speak. That you know, it's all written in My Beloved Baba also. The tiger skin was from tail head to the head, it was covering the almost the whole building, whole room. It was 8 feet, more than 8 feet, I think, and if you prolong everything. This side was the head, and the children used to get terrified by seeing that because of wide open mouth with full bright. When we come, our place would be there. I used to lie there, Swamiji also used to lie there, as he is saying, and Baba used to be here. And on the wall, there were various things.
Actually, as Nutan Swamiji is saying, near Baba's head, it was all wall, not such big windows were not there. If you go into the village, you will see some, even now some mud houses are there, which are very small, small windows. And what I had noticed, right behind Swamiji, right behind Baba's head was Swamiji's and Poornashram Swamiji's picture. And above that was Baba's Gurudev Shritish Chandra Dev's picture. No, when we came, here, Baba used to lie here, and on the wall above was Shritish Chandra Dev's picture, and just below it was Swamiji and Poornashram Swamiji's picture, Swamiji's brother Sannyasi. Both were so similar looking when they were young. It would be very difficult to understand who is who, because I met Swamiji much later of that, compared to that photo when it was taken. And Baba was mostly on that bed. When I came in 1975 first, he used to go down at that time. There was a rickety staircase, wooden staircase, and even on the first floor when we walked, the floor used to move, It used to move like this. We'll feel very scared at times because we have all come from the city, as Swamiji said, city walas. And there was lack of wind because the windows were very small, no air. And there used to be a lot of mosquitoes, so a lot of mosquito nets had to be put. Those days, these nylon mosquito nets were not available, all cotton mosquito nets. And there was no cot. So all the beds were on the floor, and it will be there throughout the day and night. And when mosquito nets were put, Baba had improvised many things. He had some sandbags. So how will you tuck the mosquito nets? The best was his idea to have sandbags. So sandbags were put like this.
Sandbags means very small.
Small sandbags, but they used to work as the weight on the flaps of the mosquito net all around, and we'll be given hand fan. Those hand fans were like this, it goes like this.
No, there were some hooks from which all the instruments. Nails on the wall. It's mud wall on it. And kulungita in the mud wall there was some cut-in cavities where books, one or two books. One book was a collection of Baul songs. That was very precious. We could not get it after Baba passed away. So it's a very thick book, a very rare collection of Baul songs. Here in particularly this area of Bengal, it is famous for the Baul culture. Their extremely philosophical compositions are there in their songs. And Baba used to sing often from there also. And that book was there. Another book was the some book, the Yoga Vasishtha, the Bhagavad Gita, some other book also was there. And by the side there was a scissor, nail cutter was there.
Then what is it called, that plier?
Plier.
Scissor, nail cutter, plier, and I don't remember anything more.
Certain things.
Many things were there. See, Baba was very, very meticulous. All the things that were hanging, it had to, we have always seen same things hanging at the same place. So, what Nutan Swamiji is remembering that once when we came, with the nail cutters, there is a small chain, a small beady chain. So, with that chain only, I think, one key was hanging, one key. I don't know which key. Now that key by somebody's misuse had got bent. So Baba was telling somebody to, with hammer and all that, to make it straight. So this person was constantly hammering it and bringing it. And every time Baba was rejecting it, saying that, not yet done, not yet done. Go and do it again. No, this portion is still bent. When again it will be brought back, no, little bent is still there. So ultimately this person said, I have tried enough and it cannot be done anymore. So in Baba in Bengali said, Bate, I mean bakane bokane? So that means, is it? Why should I take a bent thing, bent item? That means you go and do it again. So
He said you take it away.
why should I use a bent thing? So you take it away. So that we were only watching what he was doing. Baba was not talking so much as our Swamiji talks. Baba was very quiet. At least when I came, he was only when we asked something, he will give reply. If you ask something, he'll give a big story. You have to find out your reply from that story. Or he would go, these 12 mirrors were downstairs in the rooms.
When I met him, he was still talking a lot, but we were not able to understand because the teeth were not there. He would always speak many incidents about his life and all. Many things he had spoken, but many things would not be fully understood also. There are some differences in narration what Swamiji has heard and I have heard. So it could be that I have misheard because by that time teeth had gone. Or it could be that Swamiji was not a full Bengali, so he has not understood fully. So we are not able to make out certain items.
That may be one thing. So one incident is at 1979, April 27th, Baba attained Mahasamadhi. So just few months back, maybe in the beginning of February, we were in Kolkata at that time, we heard that Baba is very unwell, we want to go and see him. So we came here and Baba said, Bhuma is coming, so you stay back. So that is Swamiji will come. Where from Swamiji will come? Swamiji has gone to Jamshedpur for Jnana Yajna, and finishing that he will come. Every year, either going towards Jamshedpur or while coming back, Baba used to come here. Swamiji used to come here. So Baba said, Bhuma is coming, wait here. So we waited. We used to come from Kolkata. At that time we were working in Kolkata, Nutan Swamiji also. So we would come very often. Saturday, Sunday, maybe we'll take one casual leave, or maybe sometimes one holiday we'll get. So for 3 days, we'll definitely stay for 3 days. Maybe altogether 4 days. So that time we had come just like that. Now Baba said that you stay back. What to do? There was no phone available. There was no way to inform the college that we are not coming. So 2 professors absent. It will be very difficult. So, but I remember what Nutan Swamiji said. He said, maximum what will happen, we will lose the job. He said that. So we decided to stay back. And then Swamiji was to come. Lot of rooms were getting ready. Room was only, this was the big room, there was one next room. Below there was one room where Baba then was asking Ma that the previous year, 1978, when Swamiji had come, Baba had asked Swamiji for his Gerua shirt. Baba used to wear white Gerua shirt. So Swamiji had given one of his shirt to Baba. So Baba was saying, tomorrow when Bhuma comes, I want to wear that shirt. So after bath, he will wear. So that day, that night, Swamiji was to come, and morning when he took bath, he wore the shirt. Now, Swamiji's shirt, it is like this, no? It is all along the same diameter. But Bengalis, they call it Punjabi. Bengalis, this kind of shirt is tapering. This will be less diameter and there will be a button here. So now Baba wore Swamiji's shirt and said that, no, I want it in this manner, Bengali manner. So he called me and said, do you know stitching? I said, yes. Then Baba said, you stitch and make it tapering. So it's tapered from here. So you can understand how difficult it was. He is wearing the shirt. I have to stitch it from inside so that, and I have to see that the needle doesn't go and prick him. So I had a neat stitching hand, even with hand stitching also. So I thought I have done a very good job. Baba said, "Ki korecho? Haini kholo." So what have you done? It's not done. Open it. So many times he made me open it, and he was not satisfied. Then he said, he gave up. I think he said, "Tumi onek porashona korecho, kintu kichu kache koni." So you have learned, you have studied a lot, but you have not learned any work. So that when Swamiji came, he was wearing that shirt, and you must have read in the company of my Lord. And when Swamiji came that year, Swamiji was accompanied by five, six devotees. Sridhar's parents were there. Then Rajamanti and Tyagarajan uncle, Amini auntie and Lata. They are from Jamshedpur. Rajamanti and Tyagarajan uncle, they used to be in Kolkata. Every time when Swamiji, all these years when Swamiji used to tell they were there, Swamiji used to be hosted in Kolkata by them, because those days you have to come through Calcutta. So they all had come. Swamiji had decided to go to Salar by train. Salar is the next junction. From there, those days, in 1979, cycle rickshaws were available. The road was a kacha road. So they decided to do like that, but it rained heavily. So the roads became very muddy and slushy, so no cycle rickshaw. So they waited in Salar, got into one train which, those were single lines. So trains will be going very, big gaps. So they waited, got a train and came and got down here, Jamatpur Bahran, and started walking, because from this station, Jamatpur Bahran station, we have to walk. And this road was also kacha. That was also full of slush and mud. So many of the women, they all slid and fell. So when they came here, they were all, full of mud and slush. But I think they washed themselves, and then we were waiting. That it was in the house. There was a lot of excitement that Swamiji is coming, and I have not seen Swamiji yet. First time I am seeing. So we were all waiting. They all came, and Swamiji just came and sat beside Baba, and I don't know what exactly he did, I don't remember now, but Swamiji was talking to Baba, and Baba was giving some replies, and ho 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 ho, both were laughing a lot. This is a scene, and this scene is very much, even now so much clear in my mind. And I've heard from others that some Baba used to like, Baba had Swamiji's, most of the disciples were South Indians, Tamils generally. So Baba used to like the Tamil pickles, idli and all that. So they would be bringing, Amni auntie and all, and Brajamanti, etc. Whenever they would come, they would bring idlis with them, pickles with them. So when they came that year, Baba was asking them, have you brought anything for me? And pickles and all that. But he was a patient of asthma, and all these were restricted. So they said, no. And Ma also said that, no, even if you have brought, don't give. So this is what I remember. Actually, the courtyard which you saw, the entry to the building was from this side. We will show you. And then we'll get into the courtyard. This was the main building where Baba and all stayed. And across the courtyard, there was another double-story building, which had 2 rooms upstairs. It was mainly used as storage. On the ground floor, there were 2 rooms again, which were used for puja room, and mostly storage room, everyday storage, vegetables and grocery and all that, lot of that muri, what you eat, then tamarind, then rice, all those were stacked. And next was the kitchen. There was a small veranda sort of. That veranda was
much smaller.
Courtyard was much smaller. We have now increased the courtyard. And the kitchen was just next to it. From the kitchen was that small veranda. So that veranda was a place where we used to sit, talk. Baba used to go down those days, sit on a chair. He had a special sort of easy chair. And Ma used to cook in the kitchen. And what Swamiji was saying, he was saying that hand pump, he used to pump and fill the tank. And Baba used to say that Guru Seva Karo, Guru Seva Karo. Actually, Baba was an engineer. And he, in those days, he reached tap water everywhere. How? There was a bathroom. Bathroom is, it was an enclosed tin shed. In that was the borewell with hand pump. And there was a small tank at this height. So there was one lady who used to come twice a day to fill. He'll use the hand pump and fill the tank. And house people, whoever went to the bathroom will also fill the tank. From that, Baba had taken underground pipe to the kitchen. So, to the kitchen, so that you can get tap water to wash vegetables, to wash rice, to wash dal, and sittingly. There will be, those days they used to cook sittingly. Then, those days in the villages, the toilets used to be very far away. Actually, I was very young at that time. I used to feel very frightened that if I have to go at night, what will happen? Because on the way, this much grass used to be there, such a narrow pathway, and the toilet will be so far away. There also tap water has reached with piping. And the most interesting one was a wash basin. Now wash basin generally is at this side, but the tank is so low that you cannot get water here. So Baba had scooped the floor and there is a tap. So you have to squat and use the tap water.
Wash basin was an indentation in the floor.
In the floor. So you have to squat down and you can brush, you can wash your mouth, or whatever you want to do, you have to squat down and do. So these were very, very novel ideas which we never thought that we will see in a village.